Welcome to National Sports Chat. This your man's Ken the Guru. You're now tuned in to my take. And before I give you my take, I would like to ask you guys to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's get it. So I want to talk about Terrence Crawford, and I want to talk also a little bit about Dillian Whyte. And we know Terrence Crawford wanted the fight with Errol Spence, right? And in that process, there's a lot of good other fights that can be made on the behalf of Terrence Crawford. Now, from the latest and greatest, he's supposed to be fighting Josito Lopez. Josito Lopez had fought Keith Thurman, but he also gave Keith Thurman a little bit of problems, but Keith Thurman was obviously rusted, and I mean, he almost lost that fight or whatever. But there are other great fights that can solidify Terrence Crawford's legacy. But him and Sean Porter saying that they, grew up with each other, don't want to fight each other, right? It defeats the purpose of boxing. And then not only that, it robbed the sport of boxing. They're not continuing to carry the legacy for the previous fighters like the Pernell Whitakers when Muhammad Ali fought the George Foremans. Like they're not doing that now. It just seems like they just want the best paydays, which is okay. You definitely have to feed your family, but at some point, man, y'all have to stop robbing the sport of boxing and robbing the fans, and then get mad and say that nobody support y'all when you guys not supporting us by giving us the fights that we want or clamor for. Now, he just had a fight with a guy being Terrence Crawford, somebody I really don't even know, the Mean Machine. And in that process, the Mean Machine done better than expected. But nobody knew the Mean Machine. The Mean Machine hasn't been proven to anybody. So nobody wasn't clamoring for that fight, even though that fight turned out to do okay in numbers, do well in numbers, but that's not the fights that we want. So it seems to me that Terrence Crawford is willing to fight tomato cans all the way up until the point where he gets Errol Spence or Manny Pacquiao. And that's unfortunate because there's a lot of other great fights to be made. He can fight Danny Garcia. He can fight, as I mentioned, Sean Porter. He can fight Adonis Ugas. Like, there's other fights that could be made outside of Josito Lopez. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's a threat. We want at least a 60-40 type of threat. You know what I'm saying? With Sean Porter, it's definitely going to be a 50-50. I just think that, style make fights and that he will definitely do well against Terrence Crawford like he done against Errol Spence. So I want to translate that over to Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte is another guy that refused to fight the best. He don't want to fight. He didn't want to fight Dominic Brazil. He didn't want to fight Luis Ortiz. He didn't want to fight Big Baby Miller. He don't want to fight Andy Ruiz, even though he claimed that he does. He's looking to fight Povetkin. After saying that Povetkin is an old 40-year-old, which is the same age as Luis Ortiz. He called Luis Ortiz an old man, but he's looking for that fight. Y'all remember, he always wanted to fight Char. He always wanted to fight people that nobody knows, and it's not even ever a 50-50 fight. The only time 50-50 fight was Derek Chisora and Oscar Rivas, even though it was alleged that he was a PED user during that fight. So Dillian Whyte, all we're asking is for you to fight the people that we're asking you to challenge in order to build the fight up for when you end up fighting Deontay Wilder. Because we do want to see you fight Deontay Wilder. We just don't want to see you fight tomato cans and act as if you done something. Like, you don't have fights that you feel like you can possibly lose except for the time when you fought Anthony Joshua. You know what I'm saying? But we also with Rivas. But like I said, I don't believe that he felt he can win, especially if allegedly he goes in there and supposed to fight this person. You know what I'm saying? And then you end up going and end up being on PEDs. Like, that's not confidence within yourself. We just want to see the best fight the best, man, and quit taking the easy route while the others are doing the heavy lifting. Just like with Errol Spence. Right now, he's doing the heavy lifting. He just had plenty of fights to where, you know what I'm saying, he's fighting the best after best. You feel what I'm saying? Even though Mikey Garcia was small, he still was an elite fighter. He ended up beating Adrian Broner. You know what I'm saying? Like, he beat a couple of other people like Lipinez. I mean, at the end of the day, man, we just want to see you guys fight the best up until the time you fight each other. So it's like you looking for an advantage in order to have the one up on the other, man. And as a fan of the sport of boxing, I'm not with that. I'm not okay with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who is. Like, if you're a fan of a fighter, you shouldn't be okay with that, because that means that we will never see the fights that everybody is clamoring for. But that's all I got. This is Ken the Guru. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm out.